What baby girl name would you choose to pair with big siblings Sebastian, Nikolai, Torin, Caius, and Evadne? We are looking for a beautiful baby girl name that feels very old and historical and practically extinct. You can pause to read my name associations. They've got over 100 names that they've already brainstormed and kind of crossed off the list. So instead of doing name associations for all of those, I did the names they've already used in their name to beat. And then I just started pulling list upon list of old baby names. So here are baby names that were ranked in 1880's top 1000 but absent from today's top 5000. On the top 1000 in 1910. And some that just stood out to me in 1888. For me, the vibe is very ethereal, fairy cottagecore, and they're interested in exploring like very grounded, earthy nature names and names that have like a sense of history behind them. So I was thinking names that are rooted in legend and lore could be a really good fit. Keeping a few things in mind, pulling my top suggestions. First of all, they didn't want to repeat any first initials, so I had my list of safe letters up there. The one that kept breaking my heart was the letter C. I think I could have given them 40 suggestions starting with C. I just kept finding them and like having to remember can't use C names. Also, so many gorgeous names I would have recommended for on that massive list of 100. So of course I don't want to recommend anything that they have already considered. So my very top suggestions were Isolde, Blythe, Fiorella, Victorine. Looking at some origins, some people would say Victorini. For me, I love the Victorine pronunciation, and then Ilona. These names are all statistically rare, but they were the only ones that I had in my brain dump that were used over 100 times. So I just grouped them together. Wilhelmina, Linnea, Petra, Maud, and Bernadette. I didn't anticipate them loving these for first names, but I could see them maybe considering them for middle names. For the ethereal and rare names, we've got Phaedra, Io, Polaris, Minadora, and Ursa. I will say for Io, if you're going for like that ancient pronunciation, it's going to be more like Io, but I do think if people just look at the name, they're going to default to Io, which is like an acceptable pronunciation, it's just the more modern one. For our nature names, Fauna, Bluma, Wisteria, Pomeline, and Gardenia. It's a fun challenge. I was also looking for names that were used exactly 5 times and then not even 5 times. For the Social Security Administration data, it doesn't even show up if it wasn't used at least 5 times. So for the ones that were used 5 exactly, Florentine, Luetta, Parthenia, Finula, and Bettina. Names used less than 5 times. Dagmar, another one with multiple pronunciations. I do think most people in the United States will default to Dagmar. Leontine, Frisia, Cleotilda, and Zilpha. You can pause to read my honorable mentions. If you are somebody who also loves the very rare, very vintage, forgotten to time names, I would love to know what names you would suggest, which of my suggestions were your favorite, and I hope everyone's having a great night.